So, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of One Hot Topic. And it's currently July 12th, 2025. And yes, it is 1:16 in the morning here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm still up. And there is no time to waste. So, let's get into it. So, we are continuing with our coverage of CJ and Mr. Nawat's visit to India. And yeah, they finally made it there, guys. This post I'm referencing is from Parade of Beauty. It's the first thing that popped into my Facebook feed today. So shout out to that page because honestly, they stay on top of everything pageant related. So if you are a pageant fanatic like me, you know how crucial it is to follow the right sources. So Parade of Beauty, Missology, some of the top pages that I follow, and they are on my list for the tea. So the caption here says, "Welcome to India, our reigning Miss Grand International 2024, and thank you, India, for the warm welcome." It also says, "Good luck, CJ, for the events out there." So you can see it's so very PR, right? Very polished. In this image, it looks like, I believe they are screen grabs from CJ's Facebook story. So now, honestly, I don't follow a lot of the beauty queens on Facebook. It's because it gets too noisy. So I rely on curated accounts like group accounts like Parade of Beauty and Missology just to stay updated. I also follow specific groups, of course, like MGI, Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Supernational, because it's also better to get the news directly from those pageant sources. Okay, so now let's look at some of these photos. On this first one, I'm not entirely sure who are these other two people, but I am assuming they are part of the new MGI team, maybe staff or coordinators, who knows. But we will be looking at Missology as well in a few minutes. She has a big following, in the comments section there are always wild, I tell you. And look at this lace that CJ is wearing. That is just so pretty. And I love those flowers too. So very on theme and also very welcoming. And there is also this black and white photo, and it's very classic and giving elegance and also that sense of diplomacy. So we need that on this trip. So that looks great. And lastly, this image here, it looks like CJ is photographed with someone from MGI Thailand, I'm guessing. High resemblance to that of Mr. Nawat. And there is this other video here captioned "tomato free reception." I cannot, not with the tomato reference again, guys. She's wearing red gown today. So I'm sure someone is gonna say something about tomato again. So, very funny though. Like I said, we just have to laugh at the situation. And on this caption, it says MGI 2024 CJ Opiasa and MGI President Nawat Itsaragrasil have arrived in India to attend Miss Grand India 2025, and they were welcomed warmly, or they were warmly welcomed by the new Miss MGI India team. Okay, so first of all, shout out to the new team because let's just say that the transition has not really been that great. So it continues. So far, they are safe from the rabid Indian fans who had plotted to throw tomatoes at them. We are all writing comedy scripts at this point, guys, but I love it. CJ and Nawat have no visible tomato stains. Okay, and let's watch this MGI video really quickly here. This is courtesy of MGI Stories.
Once again, my bad. 1, 2, 3, yes. Look here.
Okay, and it looks like a lot of standard reception stuff, so that's good. It's giving press tour and it's giving again that light PR. Okay, there's more photos in here, and it looks like they are actually screenshots from the same video we just watched. but still worth browsing though. Then of course we see the same other three pictures as well from CJ's Facebook. Okay, moving on. There is another video from Philippine pageantry. So this was when they arrived in India, and you can see Mr. Nawat stepping out of the car by himself. So no CJ at this moment, which was probably intentional. I'm thinking, like if someone is gonna throw tomatoes, better to have only one target, right? So it looks like they are actually heading towards a hotel lobby, and then you can see CJ appears in the later video in here and talking to someone who might be the new national director. So lots of women in the frame, probably part of the MGI entourage or maybe local organizing team, and it's truly giving that delegation vibes. So now we're looking at Missology's post in here, actually the same or about similar video. And so this one here has a total of 259 comments and over 3,600 reactions, so much higher engagement. And one of the comments actually said that the national director seems a lot better than the last one, and few folks did agree and stated that he seems like he has a better attitude. So that's good. It's really good for the contestants. It's really good for the ladies joining the pageantry, right? Although, of course, we do not know the previous guy personally, so it's really hard to make a comment on that. But it does seem like this new management are a little bit more approachable. So that's a plus. And there's always going to be those comments about Mr. Nawat and his quote-unquote cooking show. So let's keep it real. If Miss Thailand wins Miss Universe this year, we already know people are going to say it's a cooking show, regardless of whether she deserves it or not, which is really unfortunate. But that's just how the pageant world works sometimes. And the drama always brews when certain countries take the crown. But the problem now too is that Mr. Nawat is connected to Miss Universe. It adds fuel to the fire. He is the franchise holder in Thailand and also playing a leadership role for the actual Miss Universe organization. And then of course, Kun An is also based in Thailand, and she is the CEO of Miss Universe. So yeah, people are really going to speculate and call it a cooking show, whether it's fair or not. And speaking of Mr. Nawat and some of those comments that he made in the past that keeps coming back to bite him on his behind was his comment on smelly armpits. But one person left me a comment in one of my previous videos, and he said that that remark wasn't really even directed at Rachel Gupta. So I would like to go back and take a look at some videos, some of his TikTok videos, when was it made, who was it really directed to, because we want to make sure that we are not helping spread incorrect information. So we'll have to take a look into it, guys. There are also some nice comments that came through in this Missology post thanking India for the warm welcome to CJ. Really, I did not see anybody saying the same thing for Mr. Nawat, but go figure it out. This man here is just totally polarizing. So you either love him or hate him. But at the end of the day, he is still a key figure in this whole MGI ecosystem. And let's not kid ourselves. Now he's gotten himself into Miss Universe as well. And just like one said, business is business. And truly it is. Pageantry may really be so glamorous on the surface, but underneath, it's really politics and money and branding all the way. So some people are inquiring or wondering where's the rest of India, and why is that there are still people who support Mr. Nawat despite of everything he said about the country. And I do get that. But I think it's also important to remember that those people who showed up during that welcome event are probably those who belong to the new franchise, right? That doesn't mean that that's all the representation of India. It just means that this group do support Mr. Nawat, and that's an important distinction. I think that if you are someone who knows your presence will stir up drama and it may actually be better not to show up, you should not show up. Not everything needs to be a confrontation. Sometimes it's really the smartest move to do is, again, to lay low and avoid fanning the flames, especially in public places like this. So yeah, again, that's for the comment that said, cannot understand why some Indian people still support Mr. Nawat after what he said about the smell. What we see here, the number of people, is just a fraction of fans. It does not speak for everyone. It's just a handful of people. And one person actually answered as well. And he said, a few people at the airport doesn't represent all of India. Exactly. Maybe, 20, 30 people there, I don't know. But that's not the millions of fans. It was probably just, again, the new franchise team, at least for what I can see on the video. Not CJ's haters, not Rachel Gupta's supporters, just people, regular people, or people who works for the new MGI who chose to be part of that welcome event. I think it's simple as that. And like I said, if your presence is just going to cause more tension, then sitting it out is the smartest move. I wouldn't want to add fuel to the fire. Plus, let's not forget there's always some level of security around places like this, whether it be an airport or a hotel. You cannot just barge in and cause a scene. That would not look good for everyone involved, especially for the country, right? Now, this is the funniest comment that I've ever seen. Funniest edit as well. And I can see it's Mr. Nawat. But I've never seen this facial expression in him before. And I love the crown. It almost looks so natural on him. So whoever made it, I'm not sure if it's this person, Kan Coco Ning. But I love it. I actually took a screenshot because I will definitely use it in this video. It's just way too good not to share it. Anyways, as you can see here, there's so much things going on and surrounding Miss Grand India right now. Honestly, I just follow Miss Grand International because of the drama. If there wasn't any, I probably would not even pay attention to it. And again, don't get me wrong, there is so many beautiful, talented women competing for MGI, and I do respect that. But I just don't like the vibe with how the organization is being run. How they are highly commercializing it, and it gives off that influencer promo energy instead of that beauty queen prestige, And it's kind of like what's going on or what's happening with Miss Universe lately as well. And I get that you have to evolve with the times, but there are definitely other ways to make these pageants profitable without compromising the integrity of what a pageant is supposed to be about. So you can modernize things for sure, but you do it with class. That you don't turn it into such a circus, because at the end of the day, these women are banking on their image and reputation, and there's a lot on the line for them. And come to think about it, they are being asked to do casual live streams and dancing and eating random foods on camera. And while that is fine, I think for influencers or TikTokers or common people like us, it's just not what you expect from a reigning international beauty queen. Like, not while she's wearing the crown. Maybe you can save that later after the reign or outside the pageant space entirely. But during the title year, there's still that expectation of dignity, of grace, or at least there used to be that. And that's just how I see it, guys. Of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and we should all be respectful of that. For me personally, this new direction feels way off brand and a little cheap, if I'm being very honest. It just doesn't sit right with me. Anyways, before we go, guys, here are several photos that were released from MGI. CJ on a red gown and Mr. Nawat on his regular style. There are actually more photos from Pageant's Fanatic, although it seems like these are screen captures from a video. And Missology never ever fails. She always seemed to be in front row all the time. And here is a video from her Facebook page as well. So that's all that I've got for you. And as we continue on this unfolding saga around Miss Grand India, I will be back again, especially with the big question or answer to the big question: who will be representing India at the upcoming Miss Grand International 2025? So before you go, let me know in the comments section below, do you think pageants are losing their elegance, or are they just evolving with times? What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, do not forget to like, to subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the video. Every single click keeps the conversation going, guys. And see you next time on another episode of One Hot Topic. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye!